talking about your talkback answer that came across yesterday. I was working the shift and I was on the board. I was loading tapes when I thought I heard what I thought I heard, but I wasn't sure. Did they really say that? Or what
Yes,
did
they
they
said
say?
it,
And the
'cause I saw
quality
it.
of some of those messages, it's hard to understand what anybody said.
No, I saw it. Twig.
In defense, I mean, I put the graphic on the tape, and I mean, I don't know what you heard because the audio was really muffled, and because I didn't hear it. I mean, I thought the answer that we put on, circumscribe. Okay, well,
It wasn't circumscribed.
well, it said circumscribe Saddam Hussein, and I listened to it.
Circumcise Saddam Hussein.
Was- Okay, I did not hear that. Otherwise, yes, I would have said, should we air this? But to tell you the truth, when you said something aired, it's like, what aired? Because I did not hear it, and I was the one that laid the graphic onto the audio. But then again,
You shouldn't have done it, and it shouldn't have gotten.
it should have never came up that way.
But just because it comes up there, I gotta
But-
hold you responsible. if you think it's
I did not hear it, and I listened to
in
it.
bad taste. Well, hey.
If I would have heard it,
Audio on the air that's so bad that you can't understand it. That's the first mistake that's made.
well, then we should drop talkback.
Well, we're gonna reappraise talkback.
Because a lot of days,
If we
because
have
it's
a
going
chance
over a
to
phone
do it.
line, it sounds terrible.
We got some very serious consequences because of that problem yesterday. Very serious.
But, there's another problem we run into of throwing somebody that's so inexperienced into
The
a producing
problem,
role.
Twig, is that at least 3 people let it get by them.
I put it on the tape and I was directing the newscast and I still did not hear it.
Well, somebody on the air heard it because they called.
Nobody else in the control room heard it
My
either.
better hope, like hell, is that nobody writes the FCC about it. And I think we're gonna have to go and address it up front and tell the FCC what happened and how it happened, and we apologize. And hopefully, I won't have to go on the air and personally make an appearance and apologize to our audience. We're running We're for the Family and running that stuff, give me a break. That's not the way to get ratings. You started to say something, right?
To try to finish my question,
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
that's all right. With that situation, I can't be sitting at the board watching the quality of our program and still load the commercials while it's going on. The guy running tapes for the newscast may or may not be able to catch it, and yet Twig is so busy during the actual, whether he typed it prior to or not, directing. When you're actually doing the newscast, you don't really see the news. So I guess the question being is, who's quality checking the show as it's being aired so that we know of any problems as they're happening from either the news department or whatever, so the repeat doesn't happen at 6 or 10 or whatever.
We'll have to address it in the department head meeting.
Well, ultimately, like, by the time Steve would hear it, that's the first time Steve's gonna hear it. There's nothing he could do, it would be like,
I
oh,
understand that.
and it's gotta be up to the person that actually sent it up, because anything that comes up in news, 99% of what comes up, we don't know what's on the tape until we air it.
Oh, I have
Yeah.
something to address. Beer grease, last night, tape was late. That can't happen. We have sponsorships.
We're aware of that.
I
Well,
just
do
want to
something
address
about
that.
You're aware of it, Bruce. What are we gonna do to correct it?
Buy me 3 new editing decks, so we're gonna have
They-
2.
they're
3
not
go down,
supposed to be.
phone home with a
Okay.
newscast.
Because it did run in the time.
We barely got a newscast
And
on
the
the air last
sponsors.
night.
I was there.
I want you to know that I was here until 9:30 on Monday night fixing editing decks, and I was here again the other night until past 6 o'clock.
You do what you can do in those
All of us
situations.
doing the same decks in the morning.
We were very well aware of it. And
Editing
the rest of
decks
us-
are part of the capital request. And Bob is already shopping vendor sources to buy the decks, so the day we get the approval, the editing decks will be ordered. John,
How often do we have these meetings like this?
well, apparently we better have them more often.
Last one was a long time ago.
Better have them more
December,
often,
wasn't
because we can't last it.
Last December.
destroying productivity of that. But we will have them more often. Michael?
I didn't get a memo. Hanging on the wall.
Yeah.
We posted it
Every,
in the newsroom. Of which you're a member.
You know, I get upset. I get upset when I watch the sports, and I'm not picking on Mike,
Well, I'm the only one doing it.
but it appears that. But I get very upset when the person that's given the sports reads a score, but the score on the graphic is different. So I go and check the next day, and it's not on the quality control report, number one. Number two,
Yeah, that's it. It says.
wait a minute, I'll give you your chance.
Well, I'm not the.
I find out
I'm wrong.
that the anchor was right, or sometimes I find out that the graphic is right, but it wasn't on the quality control report.
In defense of myself, who does the majority of the directing, he talks so damn fast you can't hear him anyway. So, I mean, if I sat there and wrote down every tiny little mistake, I mean, we'd need another person just to write up the mistakes.
Well, maybe
You
we'll
can't
get that
catch
person.
everything.
Maybe we'll have to get that.
You know.
It's a damn good job for an intern.
Right, you know, I mean, I can only catch so much. You just, you know, you can't keep up the directing and write up all the
I was
mistakes.
always told you were perfect.
Well, I can see perfect from where I'm at, so.
Keeping in the theme of we're a family and we and not I, and to avoid pointing any fingers, we just need more people in the sports department.
I know.
And the problem's already been solved with David and I. And as soon as we get in there, we'll have more people to try and nip the scores in the bud along.
Well, is it,
I take full responsibility for those scores.
when is Jess
Except the
coming?
twins.
Jesse Meyer.
Who?
Jesse Meyer.
Jess, he's on an Arctic expedition, I
Who?
believe. I don't know where he is.
I guess he's not coming to work next week. He's on an Arctic expedition.
Joking.
Gotcha.
Yeah. No.
I don't get involved in a newscast very often. If I do, I'm running tapes and I don't really see what's going on in the booth. And I know that we're undergoing a shortage of people around here in certain areas. But I'm wondering if, and I don't know what the producer's duties are, but if the producer is watching the show, they maybe catch these things. I'm talking about from the time the show goes on the air until it's off the air, he or she is keeping an eye on it. And then get together with the director and write up the op report at the end of
Been
that.
operating without.
Because, I know that's a problem, but that's a partial answer.
Well, we have a producer coming to work.
I mean, I know that everybody gets busy, and maybe the director is a little more busy than the producer. I think that the producer has pretty much done his or her job when he or she walks in the booth, and should be watching what's going on the air.
Isn't it 5 o'clock last night?
They also have to produce for the whole half hour, just like the news segment. So we're running.
Right. They can't walk away when the news is done. Somebody's got to be responsible for the entire half hour.
One question, once we get Joe Erickson in here and all that, are we gonna get a producer back in the booth on the weekends?
Yes,
Right now, there isn't one.
you will.
Let's not make any commitments we can't live with.
Well, I think that's very important, because, I mean, we have, our weekend director's only got 2 months of experience, and we're expecting him to do his job plus the producer's job. And, you know, I could see us setting ourselves up for a big fall on the weekends.
Yeah, the weekend, you know.
Yeah, but let's remember that
Let's not throw
most
away the
stations
weekend.
this markets this size operate that way all their shows.
Well,
It's not impossible. You can
I mean,
produce a show that could be produced
just
for months,
because other stations do doesn't mean we have to,
I
though.
agree
and
with
it
this.
can run well that way.
We will work toward improving.
I think we need a person there. You know, even if it's not a producer, we need somebody to sit in there and to help the director, and, you know, if there's stuff to be dropped, it should be that, you know, even if it's a photographer, somebody just to help with the timing and all that.
Well, we've, I think, exposed all of our open, raw sores. And I promise you that we will address each